week 12 of the fantasy basketball season, and here's a few forwards I look to buy and trade for this week. The first guy, Paul George, Los Angeles Clippers. So Paul George, we know a few weeks ago he went down with the elbow injury, and there's no really any news on him right now. Is George? He's going to be out 3 to 5 weeks, I think, was the initial timetable for him to return. So on the season, a solid year, 24.7 points a game, 7 rebounds, 5.5 assists, 2 steals, 2.7 threes a game, and only 42% from the field. So his field goal definitely dropped down. But right now, I know a lot of people are hurt in the league. I know a lot of players have the virus and on the protocol list. But this is going to end sooner or later because it seems like most of the league's gotten it already. And when it gets to the point that a majority of the players have it, there's only going to be a few guys here and there going on the protocol list. But right now, George is actually out with a real injury. And with him out multiple weeks here, I think you could pull a trade for Paul George and just stash him on your injured list spot in your fantasy leagues because Paul George is a good talent. He scores the basketball, he can hit threes. I know there's some nights he's inconsistent, but right now his value's super low with this injury. And the George owner, he might need some players on his team with all these guys going out of the lineup. So if you're interested in Paul George, I would offer a low ball offer. Still a 2-for-1 type of deal, but not give up major players to get him on your roster. And I think you could pull it off considering the circumstances going on around the league. And time of recording this video, I have to mention none of these players have been placed on the safety or protocol list or popped up with a different injury because obviously Paul George, he's been hurt for multiple weeks already coming into this video. The next forward I look to get by this week and trade for is Keldon Johnson of the San Antonio Spurs. So Johnson, we've seen some good flashes out of him over the last 2 seasons. This year here for Johnson, 14.7 points a game, 6.5 rebounds, 1.7 assists, 1.5 threes a game, and 45% from the field. But the last couple weeks here, the numbers have dropped down dramatically. 8 points a game, 5.7 rebounds, 2.3 assists, 1 3 a game, and an awful 20% from the field. But Johnson, he's going to play major minutes no matter what for this Spur team. This Spur team is a tweener type of team, a team rebuilding, and also a team obviously under Greg Popovich still trying to compete for one of those last playoff spots. So right here, last few games for Johnson, December 31st at Memphis, 6 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, a 3, 16% from the field. January 1st at Detroit, 12 points, 7 rebounds, an assist, a steal, 2 threes, an awful 22% from the field. And January 4th at the Toronto Raptors, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, and 23% from the field. So right now, his field goal percentage is in a tailspin, and it's awful, no doubt about it. So right now, well, he's struggling. You definitely could get him on the low, and even fantasy owners have actually dropped Johnson this week, but he's still in 84% of leagues. But right now, with him struggling, but still playing major minutes for this Spurs team, I think this is a perfect time to go out there and get Johnson, because in my opinion, it's just a mini slump, and he'll bounce back, and he'll continue to play good basketball as the season goes on. And the third and final forward I look to trade for this week is Jimmy Butler of the Miami Heat. So Jimmy Butler, he's been in and out of the lineup, but mostly out of the lineup a lot this season. And now he's banged up with an ankle injury. But when he plays, he's a top 20, top 30 player in fantasy, no doubt about it. On the season for Jimmy Buckets, 23.2 points a game, 5.9 rebounds, 5.4 assists, 2 steals a game, and 50% from the field. So right here, Butler, he was out on the safety and protocol list. Then he returned December 26th, and then he got injured January 3rd. So the last few games for Butler before he went down with the ankle injury. December 31st at Houston, 37 points, a rebound, 2 assists, a steal, 2 blocks, 2 threes, 57% from the field. January 2nd at the Kings, 21 points, 6 boards, 5 assists, a 3, 40% from the field. Then January 3rd at the Warriors before he got hurt, 22 points, 5 boards, 3 assists, 2 threes, and 50% from the field. So right here, he's already been ruled out for tonight's ball game is Butler. And I know some Jimmy Butler owners, they're definitely not happy with the way the season's gone. He's missed tons of games, and now once again he's banged up with the ankle injury, and we don't know how long he's going to miss. But right here, this guy's definitely a good X factor for fantasy owners. And when he plays, obviously he puts up numbers. So right now with the injury, and owners frustrated that he's been in and out of the lineup this season, I think you could get him on a little bit of discount this week and he's a forward to buy. So that's a few forwards I'd look to trade for and buy for Week 12 of the fantasy basketball season.